So,
Okay, that is what you know, Pawan. Any
he
other
will
guy?
be the Ajay first sir. Point of contact.
Yeah, Jay, tell me.
Yeah, that all I told you, sir. Like in system configuration,
Okay, you are the
troubleshooting.
guy. Okay, okay, that's
Yeah,
fine then.
yeah, sir.
So, Pawan,
Sir,
you are saying something. One by one, one by one.
We will be the first point of contact to all the customers to resolve their issues.
Okay. Venkatesh.
sir, service desk is a tech team. We have a basic knowledge on the concepts like networking and other computer system. And we are
Mhm.
point of contact between the client and the IT tech team. We raise tickets to the relevant tech team, sir.
Who raised the ticket?
So, service desk team. We understand the problem and we will raise the ticket to the relevant team.
Okay. Okay. Any other guy?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Mohammed.
So basically, in a nutshell, a service desk plays an important role in enhancing service delivery and user experience.
Hmm?
Hello.
Tell me, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. So basically, a service desk plays an important role in enhancing service delivery and user experience.
Okay. Okay. Any more? So at least you tell me once you join into the service desk, how you will go forward or how your career will be increased in this. How you build your career. Will you start with service desk only or any other things are there?
Yes, sir. Sir, I would like to go in deep, like cloud computing, uh,
Okay.
like this.
How you will go with service desk?
So by learning new skills.
Okay. Okay. Just I want to know that what you know about the profile and this. So Latif has given me to explain actually what is this, how that will be done. So that is the reason why I am here to explain. Actually, I'm an industry guy actually. I'm into the data center development, building of the data centers. I working as a global IT head now as a what you call in a cloud and DevOps platform. I am into this. So why I want to tell you is this means because I am not a regular trainer or tutor for you guys. If you give a response to me so that I can give my experience to you guys, how exactly the IT industry will be there, how you will go forward into the IT industry, and what is this service desk and how you go to this. So whatever the definitions that you have given, so I understood that really you don't know about the service desk. This is what I found from your definitions, whatever it may be. I don't know, maybe you might know that, but the way of expression that you have done is a different thing. So first I will explain you how the IT industry is there. So when I come for the IT, industry part is there. So what exactly the industry, how many divisions are there in the IT industry when you compare with this? So basically all you will know that one is the software department. So where I will consider softwares is developers and your testers, and as well as I consider as a database guys. These are all comes under the software division, or your SAP guys or your Salesforce guys, your other guys will comes under this. So another group is there that we call it as IT infrastructure. What is this IT infrastructure guy will do? What are the divisions in this IT infrastructures are there? So this I want to explain you, and then I will explain you what is your service desk role. So when I come for the IT infrastructure side, so the developers or testers or database or SAP or big data, whatever you call, or HANA, Hadoop, whatever you say. Okay. So these are all the guys, they want to do some applications. They want to perform some development activities, applications they have to run. So where they have to run these applications, they requires something to run these applications. That means some part of that requires is called the very first is servers. So what is a server? So they want a server. I am specifically talking about the server. So what is mean by the server? When we call it as a server, anybody knows what is the server? You might have studied about the operating system. So what is mean by the server? Anyone from this group?
Yes, a server is a computer program or device that provides a service to another computer program and its user.
Okay. Another ready? Pawan, you are saying something.
Sir, server is,
Yep.
yes, sir.
Yep,
Server
Pawan.
provides service to the users on a network,
What type of service?
uh, like for storing data or accessing the data, manipulating the
Okay.
data.
Okay. So first try to understand one thing. One thing you try to understand when you come for the interview part of it, you are going for the technical side. So your answer should be technical, not this type of stories. These stories it will be entertained in the seventh class, eighth class, not in the uh, technical field of engineering or this. Nobody will take your answer as a technical answer. So I will explain what is the server. Server is also an operating system. This actually gives some services. What are those services? Somebody said service, but what are the services that is doing? One, I say that whenever you connect to the system, you are getting some IP address automatically. So how you are getting an IP address automatically? So there is a service called DHCP service. That means dynamically host configuration protocol, the name of this. That means it dynamically allocate IP address to the system. When you are going to your Wi-Fi router, you are giving username and password, but it is connecting you to internet, correct or not? So how it is connecting? What is the service is there that making you to connect to the internet? That means where you should require some IP address, some gateway, something it requires. That type of service automatically will be given to you. Another service is there. Suppose you see, I am taking this. Simply I am connecting Amazon.in or Yahoo.com or Google.com, Gmail.com. In the computer field, it doesn't know what is mean by Amazon.com, what is mean by Flipkart.com, or what is mean by some other. It doesn't understand what exactly. It only understand only the IP address. But there are thousands of this type of things are there. So I cannot remember the IP addresses of that. Even Amazon, when I consider, Amazon is not a single server placed at one place. They have placed at different places. How can I know the address of that? Because you already know that IP address. So suppose I want saying ping Amazon dot in. I given a name here, but when I enter, if you see here, when I enter here, immediately Amazon is converted into some address. This is the IP address. Here I am getting this. Reply from 54 this. It is not saying that replying from Amazon. It is replying from this. Or I am saying ping gmail.com. Okay. So I am getting some address for this. So when I given a name, it is converting into IP address. This is also service. That means that service we call it as DNS, domain name service. So this will convert my, if I convert the name, if I write the name, that will understand IP address of that. How we have to configure this? Or I want to say one more thing. I am giving the, say, sharing. Suppose my office is in India, there are 5 branches in Hyderabad and say Bombay, Bangalore or somewhere else. But I want to keep my, I cannot keep my servers or everything there. So I have to see such that some document should be placed it centrally and it should be shared by all these guys. So I should have one sharing service. So this is what you are calling a server called SharePoint. This is a service. This is the operating system is having that type of ability to give this type of services. Not only this, if you come to the organization level, there are so many people are there. This is what you say, developers, testers, database guys. These are all the different end people, that is say HR guys, or you say your admin guys, general administrator guys, who are taking care of office environment, and some other guys are there. So this type of people are there. So suppose they enter into the organization, all are connected. So only HR guys should take HR servers. If HR guys, HR data will be shared by developers or simple users, what happens? What happens? HR data is shared by all the people who are joining into this. Is it good?
It's
No,
not
sir.
good.
So it should not share because something is there. Your background checkings are there, or some other things are there. Your salaries are there. You should not disclose the salary of me or salary of manager, salary of somebody. So only HR person should share that. Similarly, database guys, when I talk, only database guys should get the database permission. No other people should connect to that. Developer should connect to their developer. So who is here to check that he is a database guy, he is a tester, he is the developer, he is the HR guy. So there is a service called domain controller. So it will check who is entering into my location. You are typing some username and password. So password is wrong, then it is indicating that password is wrong. If your username is wrong, it is saying username is wrong. That means your username passwords are shared somewhere. It is kept it somewhere. That server we call it as a domain controllers. So where your data is shared, your username passwords and your profile. Profile here indicates whether you are a developer, tester or database guys and what accesses should be given. So in the technically we call it is authentication and authorization. So this type of so many services are there in this operating system. So this type of authorizations or any other share some other print service. I have one printer. That printer should share among the people and give print service to them. 100 members, only one print. All will give print request. So they have to make it in a queue and they are to service one by one. So this type of activities is done. This type of services are there into the. This I am explaining. So this many services are there. So this type of things are coming and this type of activities is to be performed by one operating system. That system that's having these services, that operating system, we call it as a server. So what are those? Your Windows NT is one server. If you take about the Windows 2000 is one server and 2003 is one server. Windows 2003, 2008 server, 12 server, like different capabilities, different services are in this. So the person who is taking care of this things, how to configure this, we call it as a person admin. So system administrator who is having a in-depth knowledge of this server and who can able to configure these servers. In the Linux environment, we call it as Linux enterprise operating system we call. So this is act as a server at the Linux side. This is the Windows side. So he will be called as a system administrator. So in the IT infrastructure, the person who is taking care of about this services, the servers administration, we call the very first entity of the IT infrastructure is system administrator. So you have installed this system administrator as configured according to this network side or this side. As per as the development people, as per as the your what you call requirements, SAP requirements, big data requirements, HANA requirement, they will configure these servers. So these persons who is doing this type of jobs, we call them as a system administrator. Now my server, my application, these development people has developed some application. If that application is with me, that means in my room, is it useful for them? Only I kept in my room.
No,
Is
sir.
it useful? So what I have to do?
So you
This
have to deploy in a
application,
server.
yeah,
You have to deploy in a server.
that means this server, this application should be used by someone. Then only the use of this. Suppose I said Zomato application. I prepared that Zomato application, I kept in my room. Is there anything value for that Zomato application? No value. So what I have to do, this Zomato should be used by the people. They have to access this. So how they are to access? Where is Zomato server? Where is that? How I have to connect 100 systems or 10 systems to this? Or 100 people or 1000 people are in my organization. How I have to connect them? What are the resources that should be used in this? 2 minutes here. Okay. Now, these guys, we call it as network administrators. That means who is having a knowledge on the switches, routers, firewalls, and you say another is called link aggregators. That means I have 5 or 6 links are there in my organization. How I have to combine that links so that user should feel that these links are as in one link. User doesn't know that. So 5 links or 3 links are there. Suppose I say I have Airtel is 100 MB, Reliance is 200 MB, other is this. Then there is a device called link aggregator. So what it will do, it will combine all these links and treated that 100 plus 200 plus 100, 300 as one pipe. That means user who is sitting in the below will think that I have a 300 Mbps link or 500 Mbps link, 1 gig link. Like that, this configurations to be done. How I had to configure my organization to the guy who is in the client side. So how I had to make this is what you call it as VPN connection. So how my people, not all the people, only 20 people has to connect and they have to work with the client. There the servers are there. Or we are here, we are working from home and we are accessing the server from my home as if I am virtually connected to my network. So like that from client to two offices or two organizations, how they are to connect. This VPN, I'll call it as IPsec VPN. And the from different places, I want to connect my own organization, then I'll call Open VPN. So how to configure this type of things? The person who is doing all the switch configuration, router, firewalls, or issues with these devices, whoever is there, that person we call it as a system network administrator. So who are dealing with this? So another nowadays you are calling cyber security guys. So cyber security admins. What is this cyber security admin? So I will show you one simple graph. That means how many people are trying to access my network from not only my network. You. Uh, so this is the threat map. So the people are here. So they are trying to the hackers who are trying to connect to this. Some people are coming. I don't know who is this guy. Who is this guy? Wants to talk to me. No. Okay. So here, if you see this, see how the people are trying. These are all the hackers. They are coming from different places. This is a live example. The people are taking the live part of it. At this area, some malwares and phishings are exploiting the servers, the differentiation of colors he has given. So how many are there here? So around 3 crores, 98 lakhs people are trying to breach the securities of the other organizations. So how to protect my organization from this? What are the measures that I have to take so that these people cannot come into my organization? Or how I have to protect my organizations from this type of threat? So many are there. So how to make my organization so efficiently that nobody can enter into my organization? So this type of things we call it as a guy called cyber security administration or security admin we call. Another very important guys are there VoIP we call. So your all call centers or BPOs will run on this data centers and BPOs or your even developers will run on this. This is called voice over IP. That means I am calling to my US and or UK and developers. Generally, they used to speak with their clients, though are not in their side. They are not in their countries. They have to speak to them for the development of our application. Every day they have to talk around 1 hour to half an hour or 45 minutes. They will talk to the client. It may run to the 1 hour or 2 hours. Say consider we have instead of this Vivo IP, suppose instead of this I am using another is called say my department of telecom lines. USN the this guy DOT will charge rupees 20 per minute. 20 per minute he will charge. So suppose a guy spoke to them around 1 hour. How much is the cost I had to pay? How much the company has to pay to the US guy at DOT? Tell me. Per minute it is 20. Or he spoke. So how much he has to pay?
1200 per hour.
Per hour per person. Per hour per person. Suppose 50 developers has spoke to him. So how much it is? 1200 into 50. So this much of amount he has to pay per 1 hour. So is it worthful for the organization to drive their projects like this? It's not that you are calling to call center maybe in US or maybe somewhere else. Are you paying anything from your pocket to the call centers? Are
No,
you
sir.
paying anything? No. But how that is going on? It is going through somewhere else. So you are not paying, but that should be paid somewhere. So the technology is called VoIP as introduced there. That means my voice is anyway, I have an internet to my organization. So my voice is converting into through the IP. When my voice is converted through the internet, when processed through the internet, 200 rupees to 300 rupees, rupees 200 to 300 per month, and unlimited calling. See how drastically I reduced my capital expenditure. Technical terms, we call it as capex. So this is also one more team here that is coming under the IT infrastructure side. So another team is there. So this is another team. I'll call it as, say, called virtualization, VM team. Suppose a VMware, that means virtualization. How I had to make my physical servers into a virtual servers. When I come to the physical server, I'll explain you practically how the cost is changing here. Suppose if I see here, what is that physical server or this? Say I'm saying which is you are very familiar, Amazon.in. I'm getting this type of website, this type of server. So I am purchasing the e-commerce server. This is so I'm purchasing my goods. Actually, what is the physicality? This is on that. How many servers are using, physical servers are using to prepare this type of application. This may be doing by HTML, or that means when I logged in or when I sign in or when I kept this opened this site, I am getting this type of page. So for the physical, when I consider the physical servers, this type of application we call three-tier application. What is the three-tier means? This is the three-tier. One is when I open, I'm getting the physical view. This is the HTML code I am finding this, and I am finding this type of thing. So this is what you call it as front end. Hope you are understanding. It's not bouncing back. I'm going technically. Are you understanding this, what I am explaining?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is
Yes,
it
sir.
going to your mind? Good, fine.
Yes, sir.
Because good. This is the front end we call. This server is a front end server, which I have written HTML page. Suppose I clicked on this. It is making me to move into the where I am finding this medicines or nutritions, whatever that. That means I have written some logic. When I click this, you go like this. When I click this, you come like this. That means this is what exactly I am writing this. I'll call it as app tier or appin, or where I am writing my code here. You are developing the code with Java, .NET or some other thing, Node.js or JR, JX, whatever, Ajax, this type of app code you are writing. And another is database. That means in this point, I am particularly, I want this, suppose. I want the details about this particular product. So it is giving me the details of this particular duck. So what is the price of it? How much concession I am getting? What is these things? Even if I want to pay any card, what are the card details? What is the EMI details? Like this, it is giving the details about this product. The data about the data is nothing but your database. Why you are getting this, I don't know. It is called a database. Here we are getting the database of it. So these three physical servers are involved in this. So this is a database server. Will you imagine, can you imagine that what is the cost server? Your imagination. Nobody knows?
No, sir.
No, you don't know. Can't you imagine the cost of the server?
No idea, sir.
No idea. If it is a simple basic server, I'm not talking about Amazon or this type of thing. So only simple basic server cost is 20 lakhs rupees. Simple server cost. That means to prepare this application, 3 servers I require means what is that? 3 into 20, which is equivalent to 60 lakhs I had to spend on this. Physical server. Suppose you are going for the SAP servers or this type of server, the server cost itself is 80 lakhs. So I'm talking about very simple server. So 60 lakhs I had to spend. Not only one web server or this, because it is a production environment. If my server down, then my production is down. Say when you talk about say my server, Zomato server or Swiggy server, when you take at 12:30 my server is down. And 1 hour or half an hour, what happens? All the customers will go to from Zomato to some other one. So the loss for me, production loss we call. So to avoid this production loss, I won't keep one server. For every front end, I'll keep 2 servers. App tier, I'll keep 2 servers. Databases, I'll keep 2 servers. That means how much I'll get? Not 3 servers. I should require for this application. I require 6 servers. So how these 6 servers are there? And to connect these 6 servers, I require a switch. And to connect this to the world, I require a firewall or router and cable. So many things is required in this. Switch cost is comes around in the organization level. Switch cost will comes to start from the 2 lakhs. Firewall starts from the 10 lakhs. So as the cost is goes on increasing, cost is goes on increasing. And this suppose I have 6 servers. This is application. One application I am maintaining 6 servers. Suppose I have 100 applications. Then how many servers I have to maintain? That means 6,000 servers I have to maintain. 6K servers I have to maintain. For this, I need a special room, special type of technical, this called data center. So how that data center will be? We have developed, I worked and developed on this type of data center. So how that should be? Now you see how the data centers will be. This is the data centers where we will work into this. This type of this type of things that we require in the data center. If you observe on this, so you see that the grilled type like this. AC won't come from top. AC will come from bottom of this. because my motherboard of this will be on this bottom side. So special condition, that means I should have a not on the floor. It should be a raised floor. A raised floor. That means my data center is like this. This is original floor. I lift just like as a false ceiling. I lift this and all cables will come through this and AC will come like this. So this AC we call it as pack machines, pack AC, precision air conditioning things. Not only this, power, UPS, and power should never go down. So generators, this all should be maintained for this bloody 100 applications. And you may laugh at one point that we will use a one device called rat finders. It means whenever the rat will come, this will give the in the data centers when you see on there in the data centers because it is generally on the grounds. So this rat will come. Hundreds of cables are moving into this. So if rat cut one cable, I cannot tracing out itself is a difficult problem for us. So I will keep one rat finder device here. So that device will make it that whenever the rat is in this, so it will give a so this type of device it will give a buzzing sound. Whenever the rat comes, it will give that buzzing sound. So that your rat will run away from that. So I'm protecting my organization by using this type of thing. So everything is in a cost is involved in this. So how to avoid again comes to this how to avoid this. So the solution is virtualization. So this physical servers, I will configure it as a logical servers. That means in one physical server, I'll keep this 100 logical server. That means only one server is required to maintain this 100 physical servers. Instead of 100 physical server, I'm using only one physical server. In that I kept 100 logical servers. So converting my physical servers into a logical servers, this is the technique we call it as virtualization. Then comes to another very important point is the data centers are here on this. So I don't want this type of, suppose I have an application, I kept my application in Chennai. Okay. So the Chennai, when I talk about floods has came, my data center is totally ruined out on the floods. So what will happen to my organization? What will happen to my application? What will happen to the clients who kept their servers in that organization? So I can I have to move from one not only in Chennai, I have to keep it in Bangalore, then I have to keep it in Hyderabad, then I have to keep it in Noida. Like that, how many ways I can go and I can keep my application and how many vendors I have to contact. So I don't want this. So another is also there. I don't want to spend even this virtual logical server is also a costly one. Suppose I am a very You might have heard this startup companies nowadays it is coming. What is the startup companies? So startup company means I have a beautiful idea. Zomato is a beautiful idea. That is Zomato is having any kitchen or anything at some place?
No, sir.
Its own kitchen and all
No,
those
sir.
things? No.
No, sir.
But you are
Yes,
ordering the just a simple thought. There is already kitchen, everything is there with the hotels. Why don't we serve to the people? The idea is that only. Connect to the people, get that whatever the food order, you distribute to the people. So for that I require some this much of uh, money. So even if I go with a small 3 servers, 60 lakhs to 1 crore I have to spend. From where I should spend? Suppose my application is failed. What happened to my system? What happened to my all the money? Nobody will purchase 60 lakhs or 10 lakhs means nobody will purchase for 10 lakhs. They will ask for 20,000. My server, even if it is 1 month. So what these people they came into the mind that the big guns like your AWS or Amazon, what you call sorry, Azure, this is Microsoft guy, and say Google guy GCP, or another we call Dell, or another these big guys. These are all the very big guys where we have a lot of money with these guys. What they said, they have established this type of data centers. This is across the world. And they said, boss, I have server, I have database server, I have storage, I have some other application, what you call the licenses and application software I have, suppose automation, AI software, robotic softwares, or another is called what? Nowadays you are using so many automations are going on. MI, machine learning, ML, sorry, learning. So this type of softwares are there. So these people said that, but we built the data centers across world. Suppose you say if you consider AWS, they build around 25 countries. They build these 25 countries around 200 data centers across the world. And they kept all these routers, firewalls, everything they kept there. Similarly, Azure, he kept around 15 or 20 countries. GCP, around 10 countries. So they built these data centers and they came with the thought that you use my service. That means use my infrastructure. Use my infrastructure. That means you want server, take it from me. No need to purchase. You need database server, take it from me. What database you require? Oracle or MySQL or MS SQL or Microsoft server or DynamoDB or PostgreSQL. Whatever the database you want, that is with me. Suppose I want to store a picture there, especially the people from India, they want to see the old pictures. They will pay some amount so they can see that pictures, old pictures. So that is stored somewhere. So this type of infrastructure, use my infrastructure and pay as you use. That means if I use 1 hour, you pay 1 hour rent. If I use 2 hours, you pay 2 hours. I used only 3 minutes, you pay only for 3 minutes. Like that, things has came. This is what you call it as a cloud. So cloud, how I define the cloud? So delivery of IT infrastructure as a web service. I have server in US. I want to connect to that server. So I use as a web service through a browser. You take my physical server. Through a browser, you access my router or you access my database, which you kept there. So this is the definition of the cloud. Because I don't want to hear from you guys, the cloud is nothing but storing the data in internet. Definitely, I think if I ask the question, your answer will be this only, I think. Correct? Advas? Correct?
Unfortunately, yes, sir.
Your answer is that only. I know. People will say whenever I ask cloud, nothing but storing the data in internet. A bloody definition, a foolish definition that is. So the cloud is this actually. I want to keep my servers. So I will show my cloud environment to you guys. So how that servers is there, how I kept this is my Amazon cloud where I used to take some sessions for support for the US guys and New Zealand and UK guys. So this is my things here. Okay, so just for the sake of this, instead of story, I want to say this. So this is I am taking my system. I am entering into my thing. So these are all my general day to day I am visiting this. So here how many services are there? So this is the services, analytical service, blockchain or computers, containerization, databases. If I say databases, this many databases are there. Developer tools you want, this many tools are there. So this type of things, machine learning, so different machine learning softwares are there. Artificial intelligence softwares, networking. I am connecting VPN connection. So many things are there. How can I deploy this? So if you see here, this is the where I want to deploy. Simply you say, okay, now in the North Virginia region, immediately I can go to Mumbai region. So I can build my application from North Virginia to Bombay within a fraction of 5 minutes. You imagine that when I want to build my infrastructure physically from Bombay to North Virginia or Bombay to somewhere else, how much time it will take for us? So I am installing one, say server. So I'm using this server. So I can install the server here on any of the data center. It's a Mumbai data center. 3 data centers are there. If I go with a North Virginia region, there are 6 data centers are there. So I can build my infrastructure. I can build my services within a fraction of seconds, fraction of minutes. I can build my server there. I can access my server from here to there if I have a simple internet on this. So building and constructing, suppose if I go with some what you call databases. So if I say RDS, so I'm going to my RDS. So what type of RDS you want? So this type of RDS services I will use. Okay, RDS services I will go. So I can build my databases accordingly. These people itself will maintain the database, and suppose I want to create one database. So what type of database you want? MySQL, Aurora, or PostgreSQL, MySQL, Oracle, or this and this. So how much, whether you are using for production environment or development testing environment or a free tier environment. Suppose if it is a production, how much where you are keeping. That means I kept three, four database servers and I'm making it as a cluster. So even one database fails, this cluster is nothing but what? Three, four physical servers are there or logical servers are there. They make it as a one server, independent of location. So all will think that, okay, I'm preparing multi-zone cluster or multi-zones I kept. Even if one goes down, other will come. One total North Virginia is gone. My another infrastructure is in Mumbai. This Mumbai will take. Sorry. So what type of servers I am using? 4 CPU, 16 GB RAM, and this is the network of this. So how much? This is the way how I build my architecture. For this, he is charging something for me, but I am not paying anything immediately. I'm not purchasing. If I use for 1 hour, I will pay for 1 hour. 2 hours, I will pay for 2 hours. Or I want to say some storages. So this type of storages I am keeping. So I want some automations. That means when I prepared an application, simply if I say you are going, this application is that what? Say suppose my application is called as what? I am purchasing this application, say Amazon itself, you are saying. Suppose you check that I paid this amount through phone pay. How that guy knows that it has came? That means something, or you are keeping your things on the what you call it as what? On the say storage place in Amazon, we call it as what? Some bucket type is there, na? That is what you call storing place. You are all knows very well. What is that? This bucket called cart. You are keeping in the cart. That means your system is storing. Your image is storing here. So how this will knows that okay, boss, this is stored, this is thing, or something is then it has to trigger. This is what you are calling event. That means there is a function called lambda. This type of services will run on this cloud. So I can, by sitting a corner of this, but at the corner of the where I have a corner of my village where I have an internet service, I can build all this type of things there so that my system will work, where my automation will work. So, so I can write some configuration here so that when this comes that should enable. So I'll write some application. I'll write this so that my system will enable and it will give the what you call I'll write some program. That means when it comes, you enable or you are going to payment gateway. So I paid. How that knows that it has to go to the payment gateway and then it has to get from my bank. So with using this lambda function, I'll do that. So this is the way how the cloud will work. This is what you call it as the cloud. In this, I am going for the DevOps as one more that you are very familiar knowing another, this cloud and DevOps. This type of all these will run. I have excluded so many things in this. Storage is there and storage engineers are there. Every you go and take another is a storage admins or the name of that guy itself is a backup engineer. We call them as a backup admins. That means you are all malls. Your Reliance Mall or your Shopper Shop or your D-Mart, whatever you say, this all malls will, there is a big IT team is working beyond this. Without these people, no mall will work. So we should have the knowledge of this. So this is the way how the industry is working, how the IT infrastructure team is working. This many divisions are there in the organization levels of IT infrastructure. Okay, so where is your name? I am not given any name of this. So how to do this? So this is the one I'll call. So I'll take this like this. So what is this? So now I said there are these whatever I said, these are the people, those who have proficiency in the routers, proficiency in the switch servers or this or this. So you want any break? Shall I continue?
Continue, sir.
Continue. Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay, thanks for that. So you have made me that I can also teach. You have given a confidence that I can also teach. What, Ajay? Correct?
Yeah, correct, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tulvia. So now this type of things are there. Now, when you talk broadly, when I talk about this, so I divide my people like this, my organization like this. As one, I'll call it as a IT operation guys, and one team I'll call it as IT management guys. Is it visible to all the guys?
Yes,
So
sir.
IT
Yes, sir.
management guy and one team I'll call it as developers and applications, all those who are those guys. I'll treat one guys as a app team, app managing. That means my organization, your HCL or your Cognizant or Wipro, wherever you go, these teams will be there. These people will have proficiency in there. And the clients who cannot maintain this infrastructure said these are all the clients. Suppose you consider these are all the clients. Okay, they kept their servers or their applications in this HCL or your Wipro or Cognizant. All these they kept their servers, their infrastructure, their applications in this. Say client 1, client 2, client 3, client 4 and client 5. Client N, say N number of clients are there. They say this guy has a issue that SAP, his application is SAP application. Now I'll write the issues, how the issues are there with the client. Client issues. So this client issues, one client is saying their SAP application server is failed. Okay. Hi sir, good morning. ఒక హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ అయినా కాల్ చేయనా ప్లీజ్ వన్. ఓకే ఓకే బై. Okay. So another client said, I want a VPN connection. Another client said, my VPN is not working. Another guy said, please install some software on my. Somebody said, my mail is not working. See how the issues are there. VPN guy is different. SAP guys is different. Installation guy is different. Mail working guy is different. Or somebody is saying my printer is not working. Or please connect my printer. Connect the printer to my system. Like that we have so many issues. So this should go to VPN, means it should come to the guy who is dealing with the routers or the firewalls. Or if he is saying I want a SAP, so this request should go to this application guy. Okay. So how this client knows that who is working here on this application side? Who is working on this? Who is working on this? Okay. So client doesn't know who you are. Here 30 members are there, 20 members are there, here 50 members are there. How the client should know that I have to reach this guy. Suppose they are asking, see the cloud environment. So this is the cloud environment is there. So cloud issues are coming. How this guy knows that it has to go? How I make my organization to go proper way? 2 minutes here, somebody is saying me something. Okay, nothing is there in this. Okay, so how that knows that? Or my organization will run on this type of service only. These clients, they kept their servers, their things in my data center. This is the data center people where we are working. So the question has arisen that how I have to run my organization in systematic way so that the client should get satisfied. Client should get satisfied very neatly and work should be run in proper way. Whatever the issues that are raised should address in proper way and should be resolved in proper way. How I know that this guy is here, this guy is here. So every organization, they kept a team. who have a basic knowledge on the technicality. A team having basic knowledge on technical. You cannot resolve, you cannot make VPN connection, but you should know what is VPN, how it should work. Basic knowledge on technology and address the issues raised by client or customer by coordinating the proper tech guy and resolve the issue. So a team should be there who can address this. So every organization, they kept a team who have a basic knowledge on this. So this team, we are calling it as service desk. So it is a team of the people who can address the issues raised by the customer, issues raised by the client. If it is resolved by this client, this guy itself, he will resolve. If it is not resolved by this, that means you have no idea of that firewall. Do you have any idea on the firewall, or do I have any idea? I'm an infrastructure guy. If there is any issue with the SAP, can I resolve that? I cannot resolve that. So this client has raised the issue. All the clients are raising the issue, so they are coming to the service desk. So how the issues are addressing here? I said addressing that, not only the issue. So how they are addressing means by using some tools. By using some tools, you are the persons connecting to the clients. That tool is called a service desk tool. So all the guys will raise their request on these tools. So these tools are there. So they will raise this tool on this service desk. Whoever is on this. Today morning you may be here. After your shift, another guy will take care of that. That shift, that issue is not resolved, then he has a track of that. So suppose a VPN issue, this guy has write SAP. So that issue you have to give it to the SAP. In SAP, to whom I have to give? Whether it is a what I call SAP modules, whether it is a module, or whether it is a HR module, whether it is some other module. So you should understand that FICO module, where I have this guy should able to understand that where I have to share the ticket to this person in this which team I have to send. So this is the tool. The tool name is service desk tool. In this, client will log in and they will raise the tickets. The tools names are this, the tools, not one tool. Service desk, we have so many tools. One tool name is Service Now. Work is same. Ability of the work is the different tools. Just like you are saying Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal. The work is same. All the people should take the data from this and they have to serve for the some e-commerce services. In a similar way, here also we have Service Now is one tool, Jira is one tool, Joho is one tool. These are the names of the tools. Don't get panic or don't get the names of tool. 100 and odd tools are there. Just I am giving some names of the tools. Okay. And another tool is called service uh, service point, or another tool is fresh desk or desk gen. So these are all the tools. So they will uh, raise the tickets. These tickets will come into this. So this person will check that whether the ticket is here or here or here. Or if he is resolved, that means suppose you say my mail is not working. So you have a basic knowledge. You will check why this person's mail is not checking. My printer connected. So you know how to connect that. You will log in and you will connect or install some software. VPN not working. You don't know the idea. You don't have the firewall knowledge. Then you have to transfer the ticket to the concerned VPN guy who is here. Similarly, SAP, it's not your job. It's not your area of work. So you will resolve this. So if you see here, SAP server is failed, it comes under production loss. VPN connection failed, failed means not working means again production loss. New VPN connection, there is no production loss. It's a simple request. Installation, it's a request. Categories I am saying. And not working. This is also a request. And you have some other things. You are, if you are working for the, you have posted in the data centers, then you have, I said the very first, you have to use the tools. So we will use another tool. You will sit in front of this tool. We want to check this tool. We will on the tool. So this tool, I'll call it as NMS tool. NMS stands for Network Monitoring Tool. It will indicate that I have hundreds of server switches and this. I'll show you that here, the practical one. You will sit in front of this monitoring tool. This monitoring tool is Op Manager. So you will sit and you will observe how the servers are working. What are the defense that is coming into the server? If there is any issue in the server, it will give the alert to us, but this server is going down. If you see the CPU utilization of the server is this. So this red marks indicate there is an alerts for that. What is the CPU utilization? What is the memory utilization now? This server bandwidth, totally it is using 50% of the bandwidth. And this is, if you see here, how much memory is utilizing. Disk space is utilizing. This much of disk space it is utilizing means it's a big problem for them. చెప్ గురు. చేస్తాను బస్ చేస్తాను ఇప్పుడు చేయను ఈవినింగ్ 4 o'clock ఇంటర్వ్యూ కండక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాను 4-5 ఆ టైంకి ఓకే నేను మీకు కాల్ చేసి చెప్తాను నేను అంతే ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ డెవాప్సే కదా అతను ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఇన్ దట్ ఓకే ఐ చెక్ హౌ మచ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఓకే okay how much loss is coming into it? What is the disk usage? Suppose my hard disk used almost all 90% means what happens? Performance of the system will goes down. Similarly, memory utilization, total 100% memory is utilizing. So how that will be taken care? So it will give an alerts like this. Was this server is the problem? This server is the problem. This itself will give alerts like this. If you see there is a trouble in this. So what is the trouble? Here he has given an alert. Windows machine script cannot be executing. That means it is not working. The remotely I cannot take or some interface is down. That means this will give an alert for us. Our work is what? My servers or my things should run 24 by 7 by 365 days. So this is the server, whatever the server I said this. So this is the virtual server. So if it is running fine, there is no issues. If it is not running here, it is a Windows 2019 server. If I go and if I click it, it will show us what is the issue. Totally it is down. Nothing is there. So here it is giving device down, no response from the device from last 5 polls. So the device it will give an alert for us so that I will uh, go in special as the it should not go down or performance of the system should not go like that. We will sit in front of this system. In front of this, it will give an alerts for us. It will check the health check. In technically, we call that these tools will alert us or it is used to check the health of the device. So this type of things are there. So you will sit in front of this as a service desk guy, you will get that alerts. So this tools are so many tools are there. Just now we said App Manager. In the cloud side, we will use Nagios, CloudWatch, and AWS side is CloudWatch, and another is ServiceNow. Here also, this is also there. ServiceNow and SolarWinds. This type of tools. Operation is same, whatever I said. An alert. So these tools will alert us so that your system should not go down. Alert us to make sure that system should not go down. So this is the responsibilities of this. So simply you said we are the spark of this, we are between this interface between, it won't looks the beauty of that. So you will be the whatever you say, you are going to resolve the issues which you are in this or which you are not concerned. You will send that issues to these guys. So it's a team working with a team where you can uh, interact with the clients and you can interact with the IT team so that to resolve the issues in proper way. Where the results are, this is some systems are request, some is a production loss. This production loss wherever we have called that is an incidents. We will discuss leisurely on this. What is this types of systems, how the service desk will work, what is the way of service desk, workflow of service desk. These are all we will discuss. Another type of ticket is alerts. Like that, three types of tickets you are finding. Incidents, this, this type of issues you are getting. This type of things you are here. So how to resolve these issues? One is the where these people will say they are paying on the service desk portal. What is that portal? Portal may be this or this or this. So they will raise their issues on this. You will see whether you can resolve, you will resolve, or you have to transfer this, you will transfer this to the concerned person. But the resolution of the ticket should be with you only. Client knows you only. He don't know who is this guy or this guy. So your work is to coordinate with this guy and he has to resolve the ticket. So the workflow, service desk workflow, that means how the ticket will come, who will be the persons and how you are to resolve the tickets. So I'll call it as workflow of service desk. So this service desk, when you talk about this, so mainly here in the three persons or three groups will involve in this. One group I'll call is a client that we call it as requesters. Who is requesting, who is raising the request on the service desk portal. Another is help desk manager. That means who will manage this request and send that request to the concerned persons who are here. It will come to service and he will allocate. Suppose there are in this shift service desk, uh, 10 persons are working on this service desk. In this shift, we got around say 100 requests we got. So how this request should be transferred to these 10 persons who are working in the service desk and that. The another team, we call it as another team. I'll say instead of group, I'll call three teams will work. So another team, we call it as technicians. That means you are the guy there. So those who know very well about the mail configurations, that's why we call it as a technician is called mail technician or printer technician or the desktop technician. Like this, these three categories of the people will work. So help desk manager will allocate, okay? Help desk guy will allocate, manager will allocate, HDI will write. Help desk manager will allocate sir tickets. This tickets technical term we call it as trouble ticket. to technicians, and these technicians will resolve the issues accordingly. That means maybe you may resolve or you may go to concern to the persons who are belongs to this and this, but the duty is you have to resolve the tickets. So simply ticket ask him how much time I have to take or how many types of tickets. This is what I said. The type of tickets when you talk about this, the tickets. The one ticket I'll call it as service ticket. That means you have to categorize. This is the service ticket. And one ticket we call incident. One ticket we call alert. So how to behave when we have this type of tickets? The day one you joined into HCL, you had to do this. So first of all, you have to decide whether that service ticket means SR we call. The label of the ticket is given as SR. And the incident, the label is given as INC. And alert is alert. So when we say it is an incident or it is a service request, it is this. Shall I continue or you want 5 minutes break?
Shall we continue, sir?
Continue? Oh,
Yes,
still
sir.
you are
Okay.
okay.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
Continue, sir.
interesting? Interesting?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Fine
sir.
then.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Good. Now I will say what is this incident? When I come for this incident, first I'll say that incident means what? When we say it is an incident, suppose I am coming from outside, I met with an accident. So this is the incident. Or when I have seen somewhere else on the blog, so some terrible accident is happened. So you will come to the office and you will say there is an incident. What is meant by an incident? Now, I think Sir might have already explained to you guys this. What is an incident? Can anyone say? No or don't know? Don't waste the time.
Sir, when an unplanned thing had happened and causes production loss, it's called as an incident, sir.
Very good. Very good. That means incident when say unplanned. Unplanned shutdown of services causing production loss. Incident. That means while I am working, my server is down. It is not planned. Working the server is down. This is called causing the production loss. You have to think that only, not simply server down, which should cause the production loss. Then I will call it is an incident. Everybody will raise that ticket is suppose the my mail is not working. They will write is an incident. You should be in that knowledge whether it is causing the production loss or not. If it is causing the production loss, then it is an incident. If it is not causing any production loss, we call it as service ticket. Okay, I will explain one thing. My laptop malfunctioning. Malfunction means sometimes it is working, sometimes not working or hanging, not totally down. It's doing like this. Then I raised the request that my laptop is not working or malfunctioning. Is it an incident?
No, sir. It is not causing the production loss.
Yes, it's not causing any production loss. Then I'll call it is I have raised the request raised by the person or request raised by individual is called service request. Request for service, request for some service. Okay, request for some service causing no production loss. Or some service causing no production loss. We call it as service ticket. Now you know what is incident, what is service. So my laptop is malfunctioning. Somebody said it's a service request. So the same I have given this. My laptop is malfunctioning while I am deploying project to client. Now you tell me whether it is incident or service request.
Sir, now it is an incident because the production loss is causing. We are not able to
Yeah,
deploy the
now it
project,
has
sir.
become, yeah, this is the production loss. Okay, so causing the production loss. Now I'll give one more example. I have two servers. Okay, say this is server one, say my database servers or any server. This is server one and another is server two. Okay, this I'll keep it in such a way that if this server, all the people will log in into this server only. There is all will log in into this server only. But this server, I'll keep it as a what you call this server. I'll keep it as a backup of this server. While I am working, this server is failed. So you got an alert that this server is failed through that tool, whatever I said, this tool. This tool, it is saying that this server is down. Whether it is a incident or service.
Sir, it says service request, sir. So because it is not causing any production loss. The clients are working through the primary server or main server, whatever it called. The clients are
Okay.
working through the S1 server. So S2 server is down. So then it is a service request. And it is
Good.
not causing any production loss.
Okay. Any other guy? Will you support Venkatesh?
Yeah, yes, sir, I see.
Yeah, yes, sir.
What Ajay? Is it correct or not?
Yes, Venkatesh Shweta is correct, sir, because it's a service request. Because when we are not producing any service.
Yeah. That means this is the service request. Suppose instead of this service is failed means
Now it is an
It
incident,
is
sir. It
service
causing
ticket.
Now
production.
it's incident
Causing
management, sir,
production.
because two services.
now it is incident. So you have to judge yourself whether it is a incident or the request or the what you call it as alert. Alert is getting you are getting from the tool. But here you have to check that whether it is a incident or service. Fine. So either you have incident or service. So how to resolve this? What are the timelines to resolve this? Everybody, every ticket will have some timelines to resolve. This is what you call in simple words SLA, Service Level Agreement. So what is this service level agreement? I mean, suppose you say, I have a, say I requested Zomato or some other things for some service. He said my order will deliver you in 1 hour or 45 minutes, but he came 2 hours or 1.5 hours. Will you pay amount for him?
No, sir.
No,
Sometimes
sir.
we cannot.
Why you don't pay? You are taking the food, no?
Yeah, but that Zomato application, we user we can in agreements on 45 minutes we can deliver within the time. So the guy not
Okay.
deliver within the time, so we cannot.
So you cannot pay. That means I have already mentioned to the client that I will deliver within this hour. So this is called service level agreement. Don't think that they will keep one paper and write that there is an agreement between you and me. So on the tool itself, I have written some things. If it is like this, you have to resolve. If it is like this, you have to resolve this service level. So the term I will call service level agreement is nothing but agreement made between client and IT department. Why? What for agreement? To resolve the to timelines to resolve the timelines to resolve the issue is service level agreement. Okay. So another, I have 10 tickets. I have 100 tickets. Just now I said 100 tickets are there. My help desk guy has distributed these 100 tickets between these 10 guys. I received 10 tickets. So this guy, everybody has received 10 tickets. So which one I had to take first, which one I had to take second? So how I had to take this? So how I had to consider this? So now here it comes to this called priority. Every ticket is defined with some priority. That means the taking of the ticket and receiving the ticket and giving this ticket to resolve to the concerned person or maybe you. So we have this type of tickets. One we call it as P1 ticket, one we call it as P2, another we call it as P3. When we say it is a P1 ticket, P2 ticket, P3 ticket. When it is a P1, we call it as high impact. The priority will be how the priority will be defined. This is the one. The priority will be defined. Priority will be defined. The impact causing the production of the organization. How much impact that is giving. When we say high, when we say medium, when we say low. So high priority when you say That means total organization got affected with the issue we call high priority. That means while I am working my firewall down, that means nobody will connect to the internet. So total production loss. So that is what you call it as total organization production loss, total organization effect with that this causing production loss. P2 I'll call it as medium. These are only the priorities. Sometimes people will say P4 also. Then P1 is very high, high, medium and low. But these are all the general categories of this low priority. So medium, the part of users got affected with the issue causing production loss. This is called medium. Production loss is there, but not total. So only the part of the people got affected with this, then I'll call it as a product medium priority. Low priority means individuals got affected with this priority, with this issue, and no production loss. We call it as low priority. I'll give some example of medium priority. You might be get confused in this. Medium priority, when you say part of the users, I said, what is meant by the part of the users? Suppose I have 10 servers or 15 servers I have. So these servers, in these 10 servers, say one server is failed. Remaining other server, one server failed. What is that? 9 servers, the people who are working on the 9 servers, they are working fine. Only the people who are working on this particular server is not working. That means part of the users got affected with this. Then I'll call it as a medium priority. Suppose I asked you to install some software in my system. What is this? If I take this time, install the time. So it's a product. There is no production loss. Only one individuals got affected. Then I'll call it as a P3 priority. So what is the timelines? What is this? So these timelines SLAs are not constant or not the unique for organization. So SLAs or sorry, SLAs vary from client to client. That means for one client that is high priority. For one client that issue may be low priority. So client to client and process to process or project to project. It is not consistent. constant. Say project to project or client to client. When you say, suppose you are very near to that station, he will give you 15 minutes time to deliver the product. Suppose you are far away from that, then he will give 1 hour time. So request is one. SLA is what? Varying according to the client. Where the client is situated, where that project, like that, this will vary this. So don't think that you are working as an agent of Zomato because you are somewhat familiar with that. That's why I'm explaining this. So what is that example? I'll give an example. Where I am working, where my team is working, where I set the SLAs for my team in the network time. Okay, network I have taken. Network domain or client cloud domain, production domain. I have defined like this. If it is any priority, okay, this priority when I consider this defined with two things, priority and response time, and another is resolution time. So this I had to define. If my system is P1 priority, sorry, it's a P1 priority. For the network side, I given the response time is 5 minutes. That means if I raise the ticket, immediately within 5 minutes, I have to see that, okay, boss, we are working on that. You have to respond to the client. Maybe you are working. How the client should know that whether you are working or not, whether you have taken the ticket or not. So immediately you have to say, boss, we are working on that, or we are looking into this, or your ticket is transferred to the concerned person because you are the front end guy. Suppose SAP application issue, so it's a high priority issue. So you have to immediately you have to respond for that to the client that, boss, we are transferred your ticket to the concerned person and working on that. That means this client will understand, okay, my ticket is taken by that guy. And resolution time. If it is a network domain, what my team has given is 30 minutes I have to resolve. If it is a P2 ticket, okay, response time is 10 minutes. Sorry. Response time is 10 minutes and resolution time is 1.5 hour. 1 hour, 30 minutes. If it is a P3 ticket, then the response time is 3 hours. Resolution time is by end of the day. This is the SLA I made for my team. Don't think that this is the one you have to follow. This is the way how the one team will take that. So response time and resolution time. Respond to the team. This you have to follow very strictly. This itself will make you to see your contribution to the organization, whether you see your manager or not. But your the way in which you are responding to this and you are resolving this makes the client satisfaction. Client satisfied means he will give more projects to you. So you will become the part of the production side. That means you are one worthful candidate. Your manager will, your increments, your everything hikes and moving to one part to other part of this organization depends upon how you are resolving the tickets, how you are coordinating with the tickets, how you are satisfying the customer to resolve the issues. This is the way how you have to work in the organization. Clear?
Sir.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
clear, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So this is the contribution that we expect from you guys. This is what we expect that okay, this guy has to go here, this guy has to do this type of works. This itself is a very much what I can say. Your performance will be carries on this only. Your increments will be carried on this only. So you have to decide how the ticket should be, how the service will come, how the things will come, how we are to satisfy the SLAs of this. So remaining things we will discuss tomorrow. How to get these timeouts and I'll explain much more on this practically on this. So I have one video that is with me with it's a live demo video I have shared with Latif. Yeah, a real interface of service desk and how we get this in the 70s, how we will resolve this. I think he will share with you guys. So this is the way how you go with the service desk. Okay, guys. Fine.
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Good for
Thank you,
your
sir.
response also. Thank you for your response.